my mom listened to this podcast and she goes, "You know what I love about this podcast? When Justin snaps, you guys talk about it."
That's a fan favorite,
I think. And I go, I can't even do it. Like,
I can't do it either.
You snap with like the middle of your index fingers.
I think it's a fan favorite of everybody's.
I mean, it's not my favorite. But if it's a fan favorite, it's cool.
Nostalgia, where we revisit everybody's favorite shows, movies, and games from the mid-90s to mid-2000s. Don't worry, we'll take the bullet. This week, I'm going to say this correctly, Deadpool 2 is coming out.
Deadpool 2?
Deadpool 2. Are you excited about that?
I am.
Man,
I
the
think
first
it's
one was pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Pretty good.
We can talk a little bit about it when we get going on this. But so, in honor of it, and in honor of our requests that we've gotten, we are going to be watching X-Men the Animated Series. Season 1, 1 through 13. It came out in 1992. What did you think of the theme? Did y'all like it?
No, it was good. It seemed like it was one of the most iconic ones in the 90s.
Definitely the music for sure.
I like that they played it during when the fight scenes.
How many years did it last?
5 years.
That's it?
Yeah. It's more than Spider-Man lasted, I think, 4.
Did it get canceled, or was
I think just stopped? I think all these Marvel shows lasted around that amount of time.
And I can see why.
Yeah, it kind of would go out.
Of course you can.
And you were like...
Justin, you have so many negative things to say.
It wasn't even a negative thing. It was just like...
You're just like, I can see why.
At some point, it didn't last. At some point, you're going to run out of stories for it. I had no problem with the stories themselves. I had a problem with how they were executed in some
sections. We'll get into it.
Just some silliness.
So this was my show. I didn't watch this, but we were, like I said, we're going to be ending up this season in a couple months. But in that time, until then, we kind of wanted to make sure we had an even amount of scores, so we can kind of do it evenly and then start. So I took this show. I do like the X-Men. Like I said before, I'm a big fan of the comic books. I've seen the movie, so I am a big fan of X-Men, and so I did take the show. It was good. We can talk more about it, but so I didn't really have much history with it. I think y'all both watched it more than I did.
So I watched it as a kid. I had the toys. I had the Fire Dude toy. Like he had what Pyro? Is that his name? I knew it was something really unlike original like that. But he had the plastic tubing, and at the end of his hands, off his wrist, you could fire little fireballs.
I remember a little bit about the show. I don't know how many times I watched it, honestly, but I had a lot of the toys. I had Gambit, which was probably my favorite toy that I had. And then I had Cyclops.
Yeah,
Cyclops.
We talked a little bit about. We watched watched about half of the season together today. Yeah, just to kind of knock it out.
But he was just oddly shaped. Cyclops was in the show and a toy.
He was extremely chesty.
And I remember looking at the toy and I was like, "There's no way he looks like this in the TV show."
Right.
And then I watched the TV show, and he looks exactly like that.
Yeah.
Chest, he's just all chest and shoulders.
It's interesting.
So if you aren't familiar with 80s and 90s action figures, they all just had ridiculous amounts of muscle on them. Like, it's just ridiculous how many, abs and just, muscles on the side that they all throw into the toy.
If you notice, they stopped making those kind of shows, and we got fat.
We did.
Yep.
Explain that.
I don't know why you're asking me.
I'm sorry, I was more of asking the audience.
Anyways.
But anyways, back to the theme. I think it would have been good because X-Men was not the most popular of comic book characters, and so I think the intro is good because it has literally everybody's name next to them, showing them what power they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think in a way that's probably a good thing.
What do you guys think about was it Jubilee?
Jubilee, what a underdog.
What a useless character.
I don't remember her from the show.
No.
And I'm sure she's in it, but she just wasn't rememberable.
I remember people being really excited.
I understand why she's not in the movies.
Right.
Like, honestly.
I remember they were really excited she was going to be in the X-Men Apocalypse movie, and she had like 2 minutes.
I don't even
I'm like, you know
remember.
what? This makes sense because she was a terrible character.
But the reason they were so excited was because of the animated series.
Well, what purpose did she play in that movie? I don't even remember her.
She's just with the other younger, like Jean Grey and everybody. She's with the younger ones.
I saw that movie the day it came out, and I was like, this is trash, and I haven't seen it again. So I have no idea.
I probably need to go back and watch it.
Yeah. No, her character was kind of what, in the X-Men movie, the first one, what Rogue was.
Yeah.
Rogue was actually cool in those movies.
Right, and we'll talk more about Rogue. But
well, you can kind of like...
we'll talk about Rogue.
You can relate to Rogue where she almost had like a story behind it where you felt sad for her because she couldn't touch anyone.
Right. You
know Rogue is an interesting character.
She is, and I don't like her really in the show, which we can talk about in a little bit. But
she seems a little overpowered in the show, and they don't really use her powers efficiently.
She's basically Superman, but nobody can touch her, which makes her ridiculously invulnerable. You know what I mean? So I want to hear some fun facts.
Unless you're a robot.
Here we go.
You want to hear your fun facts, Name?
Fun facts of the X-Men. Yes, fun facts of the X-Men.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
I hope you got the no.
I got it for sure. So
every time Jessica snaps, I'm just gonna cringe.
So this was.
There it is. Stop it.
So much like the X-Men movies, this show was kind of the first Marvel cartoon show that really kicked off the rest of them. You know what I mean? Like.
What do you mean, like the rest of them?
Well, like after this, Spider-Man came out. They made an Avengers show. They made all those Friday or Saturday morning cartoons of like the Marvel superheroes. Was all because of the success of this show.
Okay.
Which is kind of the same with the movies when you kind of think about it. Like X-Men came out in 2001. After that's when Spider-Man came out, and then after that, just really.
Honestly, yeah, I was about to say, probably X-Men started the whole entire superhero
this new age
craze.
Yeah. This new age. It really started the age of like the 2000s, which was like I say from like X-Men to Iron Man. That was like there was like a bridge there.
That was the dark times.
It was a dark time, but there were some good highlights.
Spider-Man was definitely the top of tier there.
X-Men 2 is an incredible movie. It really is really good, and there's some highlights in there. But yeah, after like Iron Man's when like Dark Knight came out, and there was like a whole new wave of like quality. But like this started the new superhero craze. So Fox was like really skeptical at first to do this show because like
what time did it come on every day?
I don't know.
I mean, had a guy die in the second episode.
Yeah, the guy die, and then like they were really concerned that like kids like would just not find this interesting at all because a lot of the story, especially the first and like towards the end, is like the romantic stuff between Cyclops and Jean and kind of the love triangle with Wolverine, and like they're like kids aren't going to care about that. But they did, and like kids got really into the show. But like, yeah,
I didn't really like the structure of the show because it almost felt like the whole entire time they're trying to catch up to the bad guy. Like the bad guy is kind of like they planned all this stuff, and then the whole entire episode is them trying to catch up to him.
Yeah,
and they don't do it.
Like the last episode, it's about like Master Mold. Is that what his name was?
Yeah, something like that.
And he like had this whole plan of like releasing Sentinels. They didn't figure it out until like 15 minutes into the show, from a 20-minute show.
Yeah,
I didn't like some of it because I didn't like how a lot of these episodes ended in a resolving way, and then like the last like minute they try to cram in a cliffhanger so it ties into the next episode. I found that kind of annoying.
It tried to be serial, and
so they always fix the problem, and then. Yeah. At the very end, there's like another problem.
It's like an end credit scene.
David Hemlin was the voice of Magneto in the show. He was offered the chance to play Magneto in the X-Men movie. Can you imagine Ian McKellen not doing it?
Oh, no, I can't do it.
But Hemlin wanted the role, but he was forced to turn it down due to scheduling conflicts because he went on to make that incredible blockbuster hit, Earth Final Conflict.
I don't remember that movie.
I didn't even know they existed.
I bet he regrets that. I mean, he probably could have tried to get out of his contract and try to be Magneto because Magneto.
But I don't know. He's so good. He was so good.
Oh, Ian McKellen's great. Yeah.
He like made the movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
He made some of them.
Yeah, he did. He was good. I mean, both of them, their relationship was great between him and Charles.
Oh, yeah. No,
And they do a good job in the show with the relationship between Magneto and Charles.
I don't really think they do. You think they do?
I mean, he helps him out at the end, right?
At the end, I could see, but up until that point, I didn't feel like...
No, I guess you're right.
I didn't see any chemistry when it
It's
came
really
to their
hard
friendship.
because a lot of our really good memories of X-Men is from those movies and having Patrick Stewart and McKellen and just knock it out of the park with that came in. And even in the new ones, I think those two guys do a really good
James
job as well.
McAvoy and Michael Fassbender.
I think they do a good job too.
Well, because they established that relationship, they didn't really establish in this. And they do a better job in the comics of establishing that relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Them. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, okay, so the storyline here was that they knew each other for 5 years and they didn't know they had powers?
Yeah, they decided the way he words it, he's like, we worked together for a while, and he goes, and then one time we saw a mutant that we had to fight, and we both displayed our abilities to each other for the first time, like at the same time. Which is weird.
Like your first kiss.
Pretty much. You always remember your first time.
And it was together.
Magneto and Miss Professor X, yeah.
Justin, Saban Entertainment helped make this show. They were one of the producers.
Who is that?
They did Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Oh.
Explains a lot.
I'm sorry, I don't remember that fun fact.
Can you see the similarities?
Explains a lot.
There wasn't a lot of flips or anything like that.
No. It wasn't nearly as bad as Power Rangers.
No, it was not.
It was a lot better.
Power Rangers didn't have a lot of butt shots, though, did they?
No, they didn't. Justin.
Let's talk about that real quick. Okay, so I noticed, and I went overboard, obviously, for comedic effect. But there are a lot of ass shots.
For just both of us, or
both.
Both? Okay.
No,
There are a lot of butt shots in this show.
There actually is.
There's a little.
I wonder if you can make like a collage of like.
I'll do some
just
of it.
all the butt shots.
It takes a long time to make those YouTube videos. I'll do some of them.
But
they're wearing spandex.
Yeah, no, there is.
So it's gonna.
I know, but there's a lot of them.
I mean, it's really easy to see the butt crack when you're wearing.
And there's a lot of like ground up shots where like it's just literally butt. That's pretty.
There's
much
a lot of
it.
rogue.
But it's
Yeah.
It's a lot of like the camera angle is like facing upwards
Yeah,
towards
yeah.
Rogue and like Storm.
Well,
and
there's one where she's like laying down, but her butt's still in the air. It's very odd.
The one on the road we just watched.
Yeah, that was weird. It's kind of like, it reminded me of like Batman movies.
Face down, ass up.
Yeah, the Batman movies by Joel Schumacher, like the codpiece and like the nipples. That's kind of reminded me of, was like their over ridiculous like stuff they're wearing. It was weird. And then we kind of talked about this. Okay, so the whole series, X-Men itself is about these mutants who just want to be human. They want to fit in, and like the government.
Well, some of them do, some of them don't.
Right, but like
Because they wear their costumes like 99% of the time.
right. No, that's
And they don't want to be associated with X-Men, but they wear costumes.
Well, like that's the thing. They're all like hiding. They don't need mutants. They want to be like blend into the rest of society, which is like a big like cultural thing. And yeah,
then why wear a costume?
all the mutants in this show
Why wear a costume?
have costumes and they wear them. I get it, toys and stuff, but like there's a scene literally where all the mutants are meeting at this bar to get a cure, which turns out not to be a cure, and literally every single one of them is in a costume, and it all has to do like Pyro's wearing his orange costume, like they all have
His ridiculous one.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I don't understand.
The other thing I don't like about their costumes is it's really inconsistent. So like one person will be in like their normal clothes, and everybody else will be in their X-Men costume.
Yeah, that's
like, there's a shot like with like they're all like around Bishop during Days of Future Past, and they're all in their X-Men costumes because they just fought him. Well, Wolverine, who literally took him down, is in jeans, t-shirt, and a jacket, and he's like, they're all just talking like, "Oh, why'd you change?"
Right.
So let's talk about, I guess, like the sagas that we watched.
Yeah. Okay. One more thing about the costumes. Jubilee wore just like a regular '90s clothes.
Her clothes.
Yeah.
She never had a costume.
She never got even an X on her jacket.
Weird.
Where's her X?
Yeah.
She didn't earn it yet. She has to earn it.
I guess. Well, she has.
I don't know how she earned
all
it.
she does is make fireworks. Okay, well, yeah. What you're saying. So we watched some sagas. We watched the first saga, which was really just them introducing the Centennials
Yeah.
to the show.
Sentinels.
What did I say?
Centennials. The hundreds. Centennials.
And then,
Bunch of old men and ladies trying to attack.
what it was.
Oh no! It's just Cyclops mowing down old people.
And then we watched the Days of Future Past, which really ties in. It's two parts, but really the third part is the last episode.
Yeah.
Because it also ties in because It ends with them like realizing they didn't fix the future, and then they have to go back again, they have to fix it in the past. So it's kind of a third-parter. Really,
It's cool.
That whole stretch we watched today was kind of a big stretch. Sorry with the Cure. You meet Mystique. You meet Apocalypse. Oh, I guess Apocalypse. Oh, then we watched Apocalypse.
Running away.
It's so stupid.
Let's talk about Apocalypse.
Because you have the Apocalypse saga, and then as soon as it didn't even finish, like he's still out there. They didn't defeat him.
Right. So he takes an episode to get Archangel as one of his horsemen. And then the end of the last episode, Archangel realizes like, what have I done? Because Rogue touches him.
My favorite part of that episode is when they're cornered Apocalypse, and Cyclops goes to punch him, and he's just trap door.
Yeah, the trap door, and then Apocalypse jumps down it, and then comes out in the ship and just runs away. Apocalypse, the most powerful mutant in the world, just runs away from
runs away from all the
X-Men.
Yep.
Yeah. And Xavier, the most powerful X-Men, is not in this show at all. Like, he is, but he doesn't use his powers.
You said you really liked him, right? Like
in the
Xavier,
show?
yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I could not stand him. I thought he looked weird.
No,
his eyebrows are weird.
His eyebrows are weird.
His eyebrows make him look like the devil.
Yeah, his voice is weird, and he doesn't do anything in the show. He has the most powerful power of any of them, and he has
power.
What he uses his powers for is
to find people, basically.
No, he's a walkie-talkie.
yeah.
X-Men.
There's a scene where Storm is like chasing down nuclear bombs, and he's like, Storm, you know what you have to do, and he's like really cryptic about it. He didn't just say, hey, use your tornado to like wipe these things into the ocean. He's like, look at the plans. You know what you must do. Like he just like gets really cryptic signals. Like the animation and stuff too is just really clunky. Like we laughed a lot at this show because there's just like really awkward parts. Like the part when okay. Well, I guess before we get there, let's talk about Gambit. So
Gambit's
everybody's favorite.
Yeah. He came out in 1990. This show came out in 1992. And, like, this show is what made him so popular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was everybody's favorite. Like, it was a cool idea. He has
he's kind of missing from most of the movies.
Yeah.
So,
you didn't really... one scene that was bad, and then he runs away. And then apparently there's going to be one with Channing Tatum, and it's, like, never getting off the ground. Like, they keep trying to do it, and, like, it just never happens. But, like, so anyways, him and Rogue kind of have, like, a love connection in the show throughout the season. And, there's an episode where Storm says
this is my favorite scene.
You go ahead and say that. I'm glad you caught it.
So Rogue and Gambit kind of has a thing for Rogue. Rogue just kind of throws him aside. Well, there's
because you can't touch him.
No, he doesn't get thrown aside. They can't. Don't say that.
But okay, she
obviously likes him.
They're talking about Gambit, and Storm says, I know Gambit better than anyone, and then gives like Rogue like a look.
It's like a full 3 seconds. I'm just like staring at Rogue, and then she turns back. Very odd.
It's so weird.
There's like a lot
I'm like, what else could that be?
They both look at each other.
What else could they be talking about?
There has to be, right?
I know him better than anyone. Like,
and then just stares at
Rogue. Just stares at Rogue like,
bitch.
Basically.
Try to come at me.
It was just really, there's just a lot of weird animation like that throughout this whole thing. It was very clunky.
I mean, it's not a bad show. Like, it has some cool...
We watched much worse.
It has some cool scenes.
Yeah.
It has some cool action scenes. It's just those lines. Like, I know it's not meant to be funny, but it's funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was
like, a lot of that stuff is funny.
So, kind of just cool stuff about X-Men in general. Made by Stan Lee, of course, right? Stan Lee...
What?
Yeah,
who is that?
Spoiler!
Spoiler, right? So Stan Lee, like, made this because of, like, he felt like there were some injustices going on. Anyway, I wanted to show these mutants. They're people, too. Storm is the first black woman to ever be a superhero.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Didn't know that.
Yep. And I think she's one of the this is really sad, she's one of the first black superheroes to not have the name Black in her name.
Yeah.
I mean, before that, it was a lot. I mean, it was Black Panther, it was Black Lightning. There was a lot of people black. Yeah.
The Falcon was a Falcon.
No.
Falcon was he?
I don't know if he came out before or
African
after.
in the comics.
He didn't. I don't think he started out that way.
I don't think he did either.
Luke Cage was the very first. He was the very first one to have a name that didn't have black. But that's not really. I mean, like he doesn't have a superhero name. That's just his regular name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like when it actually comes to a name of a superhero, she was one of the first.
What's her original name?
I don't know.
Does anyone know?
Storm.
It's like Cher.
She came
just
out.
one name.
She was controlling the weather, and her parents were like, "Let's call her Storm." Let's give her lightning
She
bolt.
felt like a storm in me. I was gonna tell you that.
Here you go, daughter. Here's your lightning bolt earrings.
Here's your lightning bolt earrings. Or Storm. Yeah. So, but that was the point of this whole show, was just to be more of a,
kind of
accepting.
a call out type of.
Which is good, because a lot of kids read this, and good to be accepting.
Yeah.
That's a very good fun fact.
It resonates with people. You know what I mean? And there's a line there that's like, I was kind of.
I honestly didn't really connect. I guess I kind of connected to it, like kind of self-consciously now that I'm thinking about it. But watching it, like, I didn't really think about it like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's more prominent in the movies. Well, in the show they had to be a little bit softer. And I mean, they didn't really talk about the Holocaust stuff, which is a big part of Magneto's story. You know what I mean?
Is it in the comic book? That's his story too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's not, and they do it, and I think that kind of is what they set it up in the show. But yeah, I mean,
They don't really say their age really when it comes to any of them,
no,
and talk about kind of how.
Magneto had gray hair.
Wolverine's supposed to be super old.
Right, and I don't know if they did that in this.
No, I don't think so.
Uh-uh.
And I know that Charles Xavier and Magneto are supposed to be super old too.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, for sure. Did y'all know that Wolverine wasn't original X-Men, like in the comics?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he
No,
came
I did
out
not.
about 20 years later, actually.
Do you think this resemblance of Wolverine, like, kind of
Yeah, I
shows
think
him
so.
justice?
Yeah, I think so. I think it. I mean,
it's not like the movies, but
it's.
that's kind of what we're comparing everything
Yeah.
to, the movies.
I mean, they do a good job. I mean, he's supposed to be like this really like brooding character.
And he is.
And he is, but he loves Jean, which they get into. He's really protective.
A lot.
He's really protective of Jubilee. I mean,
How do you like it that he tries to kill everyone that he attacks, and then they have to tell him, "Don't kill
Every
him"?
time.
like I wouldn't have been surprised if they just never put Wolverine in this show, because what can they do with him? If he stabs somebody, they can't do that on a cartoon. So what do they do with him?
I forgot about that meme too, where it's like Wolverine in bed, and he's like at the picture, and he's like stroking it of like Jean and Cyclops.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's always like them looking, and it's like a picture of they like paste a picture there. But isn't that weird that he was like in bed just stroking a picture of Jean and Cyclops? Like, why was Cyclops right there? Why didn't you have just a picture of Jean?
It's bro code, man. you gotta do both.
Sorry, Cyclops, I need to do this.
I think that's a good rule. If you like a girl, like a guy's girl, you can only look at pictures of both of them together.
Why did he have that? Did he like take? Did he take that from their room? Was that his room?
I don't do that, but
No, I don't know.
I don't feel like that's
Was that even his room though?
That's
a good thing. I don't know.
But no, I think it's weird that he like, why would they even put him in this show? He can't do anything. You're right, John. Every single time he had somebody on the ground, he would lift up his arm. His claws would come out like he's about to like
Wolverine, don't!
He'd like slash their throat and be like, no, Wolverine, don't kill him.
It's kind of funny that there's at least a few episodes where Cyclops goes off and Jean's hurt, and it's Wolverine that goes and saves her. Like,
Yeah.
okay, Cyclops, just leave her there.
Well, okay, let's talk about Jean though. What did she do in this show?
She's terrible.
She has like some diamond laser.
Behind Xavier, she should be the most powerful mutant out there.
And
she
they made
does
that.
nothing.
She made that very clear in the movies that she was very powerful, but she couldn't control it.
Right.
In these shows, she obviously can control it very well. She just sucks.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the first time that you see Magneto is he's breaking someone out of jail, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's trying to break out Beast.
Yeah, he's trying to break out Beast out of jail. He's got some crazy freaking powers in this movie or this show that I don't ever seen before.
Yeah,
like,
he has like a shield around him. It's like lightning bolt shield. Like
yeah,
very odd.
is it like a magnetic shield?
I guess so.
Science teacher, is that possible?
But again,
No.
he like got shot with like lasers and like he's like they bounced off the shield. It was very odd. And then
I don't really.
It's his muscular chest.
and then he just like picked up 3 of the X-Men and threw them. Like they all have metal on them.
I don't
If
know.
they do have metal on them, like why are they getting picked up by the metal and not like just
kind of
yeah?
pick
Because
them
then
by like their belt buckle.
yeah, exactly. Because then, like, we're like, Storm's earrings, just like picked up by the ears.
Ow, 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 ow! Come on! Man, he was supposed to be super powerful,
No,
too.
he is.
He is.
He's very powerful. He's very powerful in the show. My argument is they played him off in the movies as this like super, super powerful person.
Because he's like almost he's almost in tune with Dr. Doom.
I mean, he did do some stuff, but nothing close to what he could do in the show. Like, he could shoot, like, magnetic lasers at people.
Yeah.
Because him and Dr. Doom are supposed to be, like, super powerful.
That's what I was telling John before you got here. It's like, they have, like, list of the most powerful villains, and they're both up there.
Yeah, he's big time powerful.
But
it's like Professor X is big time powerful.
Yeah.
But the thing about this is that in the show, they almost portrayed Professor X as this really powerful mutant.
And he just jack squat.
And he's a walkie-talkie.
And he's a lot more powerful
and he's a
in the
walkie-talkie.
show. Like, or in the movies.
Yeah.
And they don't really ever get into the helmet. I mean, I know they do. Like, it's a big deal, and that's why he wears the helmet. But in this, they never really got into
Why did he have to read someone's mind and put on the helmet?
Cerebro?
Yeah, why did he
he does that a lot.
He does that in the movies.
It's just powerful.
He pulls that helmet on. But
no, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
When he's reading someone's mind...
Not reading, you're right. But when he goes into Cerebro...
He's able to look deeper. He's able to control
I understand that.
And I think
but most of the time, because, okay, so what I'm thinking about is in the movies, when he's trying to read and figure out about Wolverine, he just goes up to Wolverine, touches his head, and he knows everything.
Right.
Pretty much.
Right.
I'm sure he can do that. He doesn't need to here. He uses Cerebro with Bishop because he's got to look at somebody's future. Like I feel like yes, it's inconsistent. I get it, but I know like why he's doing it here. He's definitely underutilized.
I feel like it makes him look weaker.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
As a mutant.
While we're talking about Cerebro, while we're talking about powers, let's talk about rogues, because I am very confused. So I googled. So in the comics, all she can do is when she touches somebody, she can take their powers temporarily unless she touches them long enough to where they die, and then she keeps their powers forever.
Okay.
So
I feel like a couple times in the comics and maybe in the shows that she might got like all of her powers wiped.
Yeah,
does that ever happen?
I'm sure that's how they did in the comics. Yeah. I mean, because they made her too powerful. In the 90s, everybody was too powerful. There was a comic book where Superman threw a planet. I mean, when Superman can throw a planet, how do you have somebody fight it, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, she was invincible pretty much, and that's what she is in this show. She can pretty much do anything. It's very annoying.
And I don't feel like they used her.
They didn't use
the right way.
Well, they could.
And then spoiler, I don't think any of us knew this when it was revealed. Mystique is her mom.
No, I had to Google that.
Or mama.
Her adopted mother.
Is that a?
It's a real.
That's a real thing.
Yep.
God, that accent.
Mama.
that rogue accent.
I mean, yeah. It's cute. If it was a real person, I would find that accent attractive. Do you think any of the other accents on this show was real? Like you have the Cajun accent with
I don't know.
Gamut. You have Storm's accent, which I have no idea what that is, and then you have her like Southern accent. Do you think any of those are real? I don't know. I doubt they are.
You're supposed to want me to know that.
I was wondering if you think that they are. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Who do you think's voice like matched the best when it came to that character? Do you think they all matched pretty well?
Yeah. I mean, with
Cyclops because he's annoying and
standard
two shoes.
Standard voice. Yeah, Cyclops' voice is pretty good. All their voices are, but they're a little like Wolverine's like.
I didn't really like Wolverine.
It was a little too raspy and
it was
a little too distracting. Nobody can ever be as good.
I hate Cyclops.
In the show or in general?
In general,
like his powers.
I'm not a big fan of Cyclops.
I mean,
I like his. I don't know.
I don't like his character very much.
I always felt like though that I'm like a big person when it comes to like leaders. Like I like the leaders of groups.
Any kind of his leader.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought he was always too much of a prude.
Were you jealous about his body?
Mm-hmm. I was. He's very chesty.
We all wish we were chesty.
But like he was always like,
and huge,
especially
pockets.
When they were saying who's the assassin.
It's like
so I was like, it can't be you, Gene. Like, yes, it could.
Yes, it's funny. She was like, no, Scott, it could be me. Like she had to like,
stop doing that.
How did you guys feel about that relationship? They always kept disappearing.
What did he say?
Me and Gene are going to the X-wing.
Yeah, that was sad. They ran away. I mean, they said they're affectionate couple. They say that. They say they hold hands and they kiss.
Yeah, you see it. You see it in shows.
And Rogue gets jealous about it.
Yeah.
That was cool. They had that in the first X-Men movie.
Well, I guess maybe Wolverine got the picture from Rogue.
Rogue same picture also. They probably both split it. It's your night with the picture.
Look, I broke it in half. Now we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Which one do you want today?
I'll take G Great. Damn it.
I guess I'll make do with Scouts.
He is very chesty.
But no, I like what they did though with Rogue. They did the kissing thing, which I thought was interesting. They did it in the movie too, where she like gets kissed by a boy and like freaks. That's what she looked.
What'd the boy say?
Have you ever been kissed before?
Hey girl, you ever been kissed by? What does he say?
You want to get kissed or something like
hey
that?
girl, no, it's something about have you ever been kissed?
I thought it was, have you ever been kissed?
Hey girl, you ever been kissed?
I don't remember.
It was weird.
It was very
You
straightforward.
got a little country accent too.
Yeah. And
Hey girl, you ever been kissed?
You ever been kissed, girl?
I'm beginning to think I never will be. The way you keep going on about the moon.
And then they
No!
kiss, and then they kiss, and like a little orb goes around them.
Yeah, he like glowed and then he just collapsed.
Collapsed, and she starts screaming. But I did it in the movie, remember?
Alright, so what was your favorite characters when it came to this?
Oh, we have a couple
I'm guessing your least favorite character was Cyclops.
Yeah, I don't like Cyclops.
Most favorite character was Rogue? That's what I have to
No.
guess.
My favorite character was Beast. He's in like 3 episodes. He's always in jail reading.
That made me mad. I like because Beast is actually one of my favorite characters.
So the fun fact about that one is that he was supposed to be. He was never supposed to be a main cast.
Uh-huh.
But so that was the reason they did this in the main stories. That he's only in like 5 episodes. People liked him so much that they like made him a full-time character. In
He's
season
cool.
2. Do you like the old Beast in the movies or the new one?
2. Oh, you mean what's his name?
I like both of the Beasts.
I didn't really like the new one. I thought Kelsey Grammer was an incredible.
Oh, Kelsey Grammer. But
I
he's
think
like,
I
he's
think
an
the
amazing
I think the
actor.
new
Yeah.
Beast is just because of the writing. He sucks, but the
Yeah.
actor who plays him is good.
Yeah.
Like the way he plays Beast
I've
is
never
good.
seen him in anything else.
I don't know.
Neither.
This series was the first time that a mutant cure plot was ever used.
That's cool.
And
That's
it was
cool. So it wasn't used in the comic book at all?
No, it was used after the comic book by Joss Whedon when he wrote a comic book series, who's the director of Avengers,
Yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then it used it in X-Men: The Last Stand in 2008.
So there was some original storylines
Yeah.
in the show that weren't in the comic
Yeah,
book. Okay.
there was. Not
The way,
very many.
the way you made it seem like it was just all comic book stuff.
Well, no, I mean, but like it's the same with like Spider-Man, like the animated series. They used a lot of. They didn't use much plot from the. I mean, they used some of the plots from the comics, like the alien suit.
And it kind of helped them along to kind of plan their own
Right.
stuff. Gotcha.
But to
Alright.
fit, you know.
What was Apocalypse role in the comic books that was different than? Did you guys like how he looked?
No.
No, it was
He
terrible.
was like a clown. He had a painted-on face.
His mouth looked so
It
weird.
looked bizarre.
What his mouth looked like, it was a puppet that like you kind of had to like the stick that went to the mouth and you like moved it up and down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it looked
Yeah,
like.
that's
Yep. No, so Apocalypse in this is very different from the comic. In the actual movie with Apocalypse is more like what the comic is.
Okay.
Not this.
All
This
the
is- they only
variations,
get-
all the variations when it came to Apocalypse has been like the movie version, and I've seen.
Yeah, he's supposed to be
I've
the very.
seen.
Yeah.
I've read a little bit of the comic books when it came to him because I wanted to know what he kind of was when the movie came
Yeah.
out, and then X-Men Evolution had a Apocalypse thing, which was really cool. He was really strong in that one too.
Yeah.
But here he seems stupid.
No,
Did he even do anything? Like, did
No,
he
he-
show any of his powers?
no, he got 4 horsemen and they did all the work for him, which is beautiful.
And
And
just
he had
ran away.
he had trapdoor.
He had trap for him.
Psych.
And he had a ship, which you don't need a ship if you're Apocalypse. You can do
maybe.
anything.
That'd be kind of sad if he didn't have any powers to just like open that door. He had to push a button.
Seems like everything in the '90s came from space.
Yeah,
It's always from. Oh, I'm from space. I'm gonna kill you.
yeah.
That's a
When,
space.
when did that happen in I was gonna say something stupid. I'm not gonna say it.
Spider-Man.
I was gonna say Power Rangers. They all came from space.
The moon. She was the moon.
Awesome. It's like the one thing you could have thought of that actually came from space that we've watched. I like it. We laughed pretty hard at this too. At the last scene of this, so they're finding the Sentinels, and they're in like a cave, and it's Gambit and Wolverine, and they're fighting. We don't really know what happens. All of a sudden, they bust out. Gambit's in full clothes. Wolverine is wearing
He's wearing his bottoms.
He's wearing his bottoms.
They're a little ripped.
His shirt is completely ripped off, and he has his mask on.
They had to throw that shirtless scene in. They had to. He's a very hairy dude, too.
Very hairy. Man, people freaked out when Hugh Jackman got casted as him. They were like, "What? He's supposed to be 5'5". Okay, you're not gonna find a 5'5" huge jacked guy to play Wolverine."
He was also a rom-com dude.
Yeah.
For a while too. He was also on Broadway.
Yeah. So
he was not anywhere near.
This is pretty funny. So he was doing a London version of the Broadway show Oklahoma, and he played a guy named Curly, and the guy that played Curly, he had to have curly hair, so they gave him a perm, and he literally did a showing, like a matinee showing, and he ran to the audition for Wolverine with curly hair. with the perm, and he's like, "There's no way I got this part." But he said like the way who he like channeled to try to be Wolverine was Clint Eastwood, and he nailed it. I mean, you can't beat Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
No, you can't.
He's pretty.
I mean, if you go back to the first movies, though, like honestly. He's nothing like he is.
He got a lot better.
No, he did.
Yeah, and
he was also still really skinny at that point. He was ripped, but he wasn't like big like he was.
And like X-Men was good. He was great in X-Men. He was better in X-Men 2. He was really good in X-Men 3, even though that movie sucked.
God, that movie sucked.
But like his part was good.
Oh no, that's one of my favorite things about.
Yeah, when he's like crying, like going to like stab her and stuff, he gets better. He does his X-Men Origins movie. Okay, that was a terrible.
He was still good though.
He was still good.
Do you think that's him evolving as an actor? Or do you think that's him evolving as that character?
I think it's him.
I think it's a little bit of both. So then, like, he did X-Men First Class, that one line where they come and try to recruit.
Fuck you.
And he goes, yeah, and then he does Wolverine, which is a great movie. It's very underrated. And then he does Days of Future Past, which he's great in. And then Logan is like the peak. You know what I mean? Like it's like the best he did, and it was a great movie.
I think even though how many people say that movie's good, I still think that's an underrated movie.
Logan?
Yes, Logan.
Oh, I don't think so.
People were talking about it being nominated for like awards.
I don't know why it wasn't, because
they should have been nominated.
I really think the only reason why is because number one, it was really bloody and gory, and number two, the Wolverine movies had such a bad rep at that point.
Yeah.
If they just released Logan on its own without the other two Wolverine movies, that would have gotten nominated.
That's what some people were saying that's why it should have got nominated, because it could be a standalone movie.
Not one, doesn't need to win, but to be recognized for the writing, everything in that movie was so good.
Well, how'd you guys like Old Man Logan in the show?
It was basically just regular Logan.
It was basically regular Logan with gray hair.
Yeah, they just colored his hair gray.
But hey, you know what? He still had his costume, and he was the only.
He did have his costume.
He was the only original X-Men still alive.
Yep.
Why in the world, if you're being hunted as a mutant, do you have your costume on?
As an X-Men. Yeah.
That bright yellow.
I thought they were stupid.
Terrible.
I mean, I know they're iconic, and I know that
even Wolverine.
When you see.
No, well, and Wolverine's is a normal. That was his costume in the comics, but I mean, it's not great.
Storms is fine.
Storm is fine.
Cyclops is weird just because he's got like the
have you seen
bracer thing.
Have you seen the set pictures from Dark Phoenix that they're filming right now?
No, not yet.
It's the exact same as the 90s.
It is.
Cyclops.
Oh god. But you know what? It's just fine.
And it's the guy from Ready Player One. Is playing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's just silly the way it's designed.
Okay, so y'all have any like favorite episodes or favorite characters or anything?
I mean, I like Cyclops, but I think I liked him just because he's the leader of the group.
Yeah.
Jean Grey sucked. If she was fully developed
terrible
when it came to her powers, like
she was the Vision. She had a beam coming out of her face.
She was terrible. I wish they made her more powerful, and then maybe like and you know you can always go, oh, I can't control my powers to make everything go, bring down the power level of everything.
Right.
That's fine.
And
she couldn't.
They do get there because I mean in this show they do have Dark Phoenix saga at some point.
Which that was my favorite when I was a kid.
She's legit.
Yeah.
Because her costume I think she keeps the Dark Phoenix after they like keep her from.
Oh really?
I think they do. I love that Dark Phoenix costume. It's pretty cool.
I would say probably Storm is another one of my favorites.
Yeah. I think my favorite.
She's probably one of the powerful most
I
powerful.
was
one.
going to say that actually. I think in this show she was definitely the most powerful out of the X-Men.
No, yeah. She's the Avatar.
Yeah.
Shards
She-
of ice.
She
You mean hail?
Yeah, she can bend. She can bend anything.
Torrential downpour. You mean rain?
I like the part when they're rebuilding the mansion and they're like, "Gene, that mortar is too thick," and she's like puts a little storm cloud over it with like water pouring to add some water to it. I think my favorite character is cliche, but I think it's Wolverine, just because I think he had the most
He's
depth.
cool.
He had the most depth. Like I said, he's this brooding guy, but he has a soft spot, and you can see it.
no, you can.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes him really deep. It just kind of
Out of the other options.
the other characters are just one dimensional.
Can we all agree that the least favorite character is Jubilee? I mean,
Yeah,
completely
she's
useless.
terrible.
I get it. Like, again, it's that whole thing. You're a kid. You're, like, trying to relate to one of these characters. You want to go for the young one. You want to be part of the X-Men, but you want to be...
But Jubilee, I can understand, like, I'm trying to relate to this specific character, but why does it have to be the suckiest character in the show?
I mean, she shoots
How
fireworks
can I
at her
relate?
fingertips.
I want to relate to that.
yeah,
I want to relate to, like, Wolverine. I want to relate to Cyclops. I want to relate to
Exactly.
someone that could
Because-
push things out of my hand that don't even blow up things.
Because what they could do is something like what they did in, like, Civil War and also they did in the X-Men movie. Have a character that's really, really strong, like Spider-Man, one of the strongest superheroes, but make him young so that he's not quite powerful enough. You know
And
what I
like
mean?
they did it with Rogue.
Yeah,
in
don't
the
put
movies.
Jubilee who can make fireworks. I mean, like, put an actual heart, like a character that's like
Maybe
really,
that's what they decided to do with the movies, and that's why they changed it. And
Yeah.
Or they
put
just realized
Rogue-
Jubilee
they put
sucked.
Rogue into that character.
And Rogue is a more famous character, anyways.
See, I think Rogue is the most in-depth character in the show. I don't think.
I mean, she is to an extent. I mean, yeah, I guess she is. Yeah.
Because there was a couple episodes that almost just kind of focused around her, and like how she.
I don't get her costume.
I don't get any of the costumes. Why do they cover their ears?
Why does she have a jacket?
Yeah.
Why do they have the side like rubber?
So we talked about
things?
this before. This was a very '90s thing. I don't know why.
Why does she have a jacket?
Who?
Rogue. Like, she's got the full spandex, and
Why
she got a jacket.
Why does Gambit have a jacket? Why does Jubilee have a jacket?
It's cold.
Why is
Everywhere.
why does Jubilee have no X?
she hasn't earned her X yet until the 4th of July. We already talked about that when she puts on a fireworks show.
Did everyone like Cable?
Yeah. They didn't really go into his
He
past.
didn't really do much like
Yeah.
in this first season.
You don't know like his like origin.
He's
I don't know.
Cyclops' kid.
He's Cyclops and Jean Grey's kid,
Huh.
and then he like comes back from the future.
Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2. We'll see what they do. Josh
I don't
Brolin.
know, maybe.
Yeah, because they can talk about X-Men.
They can.
All right,
Yeah.
so she didn't end up with Wolverine then. I guess
She
not.
didn't, no.
No. They never. Find
He's
him.
wearing an X-Men shirt in the trailers.
All he has is the pictures.
Uh,
I was kind of sad they didn't have more. Maybe they do later on in the seasons, but they don't have like. They could have had Fantastic Four in the show. They could
Yeah.
have had a lot of other Marvel
like
characters.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, kind of threw in those.
They at least mentioned them.
Yeah.
And later on, Storm comes in Spider-Man, and so does the Fantastic Four. Anyways,
Like Storm from this
from
animated
this,
series.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so her voice changes. The cast changes between season 1 and season 2, and then a person that does season 2 on. There's actually supposed to be a plot in Spider-Man where all the X-Men were supposed to be in it, but they were recording their voices for the show in Canada, and Spider-Man was in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
She was the only one that decided to fly out to Los Angeles to record her scenes, which you think that they could just like record it and then just like send it to them.
Yeah.
But apparently they
I
didn't.
mean, they
so.
can't. Maybe they can't.
What was his name again? The guy that got sent back.
Bishop.
Why did he have an X-Men symbol on him?
Yeah, they all had
Yeah,
X-Men
that's-
symbols.
Yeah, it's very odd. In this show, they don't do a very good job at deciphering between X-Men and mutants. Like, they're all kind of just X-Men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't do a very good job.
Hey, you were in an episode. You're an X-Men.
You're an X-Men.
Except
You were
Jubilee.
fighting with us for
Except-
5 minutes. You're an
Jubilee doesn't get
X-Men.
eggs. But, like, that whole Days of Future Past story was kind of stupid. Because, like, he goes back in time. He's like, I don't remember why I'm here. And then he remembers that he's going to kill somebody. And then he remembers everything else except for who he assassinated. He's like, this tracker is for this. I came back from this. Because all this, he goes to the entire plot of what happened in the past. But he doesn't remember who killed.
It's stupid.
Yeah. Anyways, let's wrap up. So, John, you want to give me a point? You want to watch season 2?
I kind of do, but there's okay. So the the show is funny, but it's not meant to be funny. So that's like kind of the only thing I kind of have against it.
Yeah.
But everything else I liked.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it was just funny and it just wasn't meant to be funny.
Yeah.
So, can I give you 0.75?
No. I'd rather take 9.
I know.
You give 0.5?
No, I know. No, I'll give you full point.
Yeah.
Give you full point.
Thank you. I
Give you
appreciate
full
it.
point.
You're not gonna get anything from me.
Come on.
Really?
No.
We talked about this
Justin-
beforehand. Justin's
No.
a stick.
Okay, hey. So, we did talk about this beforehand. Justin has not given me a point for anything that I've said.
Cause you
Any
watch
show,
shit.
movie, or video game that we've played and watched.
That's true.
Justin has not given me a
Because
point.
you choose shit.
At first, I was like, oh, Justin, he just doesn't give anyone a point unless it's his.
He gives me points.
But no, he gives Chris points. He just doesn't give me any points.
Well, wait for this one here. All right.
I thought you said no. Oh, you're going
No,
to
he's just giving you the
gonna tell you.
reason why.
Okay, rub it in,
he said
Justin.
no.
Rub it in.
Characters are all mostly super bland.
Okay.
Okay.
True.
Very, very chesty heroes.
True.
You're going to give me a
Alright.
point for your ass shots?
No. I can find that anywhere.
Okay.
That was awesome.
I'm gonna be honest, I zoned out in a lot of the show.
Uh-huh.
I just didn't find it entertaining at all.
Okay.
Now, I like the stories,
Uh-huh.
but the way they were executed was
Yeah.
terrible.
I don't think you should give me a point for stories because
No, I'm not going to.
I'm taking-
You get no points.
I'll take it. Okay.
I just, I wanted to like this. I thought going in I would like this, but then I was just so bored. I don't know if I can sit through a season 2.
Oh, man.
Well, you know what? I liked it, and I don't mind seeing a season 2. I liked it more than I thought I did. You're right. There are some times that I laughed at it. I know that we got a message from one of our listeners saying that he is actually watching this also, which I think is the first time he's
He's watching it
he's
too?
watching it too. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
curious to see what he thinks about this because I don't know. I wasn't really. I was a little disappointed. I was expecting a little bit more because of my Spider-Man nostalgia. I thought it was gonna be a lot more like Spider-Man, but
It was not.
with that said, I liked it. It made me want to watch the X-Men movies again. It was like I kind of want to see because now that I see like what kids liked about this,
Yeah.
what they saw 8 years later when the movie came out. So I want to see that.
I thought of something else. The biggest criticism I had about this show is kind of choppy, and again, like it felt like the whole entire show was them trying to catch up.
There was
trying to figure out because they were almost lost.
Yeah.
Like they were off doing something else, and I'm like, oh man, that kind of sucks. Like the bad guys, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, the good guys, theyll figure it out, and they would just never figure it out this whole entire episode.
And the way the narrative was told made it worse because it was like they showed you what the villains were doing, and then they were just doing something else. If it was all about them trying to
they were
solve,
very ignorant when it came to it.
If it was all them trying to solve the mystery and they figured it out, then it would make sense. But it was frustrating as a viewer because you knew what was happening because the villains, you saw that storyline.
The editing was pretty bad too. Like I think it's the 4th or 5th episode. There was one where they're trying to locate one of them, and it's literally a 2-second shot of them all around in the little meeting room, and Xavier's like, "They're right here," and then cut to that place. It's like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Why'd you need that?
Like Xavier's supposed to be this really smart person. He can read minds and everything like that, and he always seemed like 2 steps behind everyone.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that.
I agree. But I do want to see it again. I do want to see season 2. I hope season 2 has some Dark Phoenix stuff in it. So we're gonna leave it open. We still have a lot of stuff we have to watch, so I don't know when we'll get to it, but we will get to it.
We will get to
And
it.
Justin, you can suck it up. Would you rather watch this or Dragon Ball Z? So,
You have to watch both anyway, so it doesn't matter.
but which would you rather watch, Justin?
Which one?
Dragon Ball Z or this?
This. I'm not watching Dragon Ball Z again.
I think that's
No, you have
I think
to.
that's the bottom of the bar.
No,
that and
it's
TNT.
not.
We're still gonna do it, but I think
Which are both whose?
John's was TNT.
No! Oh, TNT.
But TNT was forfeited. We're not gonna do that.
No, we're not doing that one.
All right, what's next week?
Next week, the movie Han Solo. Wait, what's it called? Solo: A Star Wars Story is coming out.
Yep.
Because of that, we're going to watch. Justin, you want to say it's your show, your movie?
We are going to watch Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Now, this is a notorious movie for
I
being
don't want to do it.
shitty.
I don't want to do it.
It's not good. I hope Han Solo is better.
I can tell you right now, I will not get points, and I'm going to be happy about it. This
Justin.
movie is terrible.
Hey, Justin. So is this gonna be the new like bottom on the bottom?
No.
Dodge, what did we watch? Dragon Ball Z stuff is on the bottom of the bottom.
No, it's so good.
But I do want to
Maybe for
say,
movies.
I do want to say that, you know, I think nerds over attack this movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, this is a terrible movie still, but there are not a lot of redeeming qualities, but there is some stuff in it, but it's still really bad.
Yeah, it gets. Yeah, we'll talk more about it. Why we think it's terrible and what they could have done better. But yeah, we'll get there.
Star Wars is a very touchy subject for people.
It is, but I think everybody can agree that
This is
episode
shit.
1 is not good, and I think all three of us will probably agree it's not good. But we're gonna watch it because again, Solo is a prequel. And we're going to watch the very first prequel that came out.
I'm sure I'm going to rant about this.
Are you guys looking forward to seeing the Solo movie?
Yeah, I think the trailers have started to look better. They have the initial reviews, and they're not bad.
I am cautiously still...
Are you
I
going to
don't
see?
know.
You're going to see it though?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to see it.
Are you going to see it with your family?
I'm like,
I have no idea.
about it, but I'm gonna see
Yeah, I'll
it.
probably see it with my dad, because that's just kind of like a thing.
Yeah, y'all see
the
all Star Wars movies together.
But I'm just cautiously like... they could really mess this up, because you have to remember, that's one of the big three. It's kind of hard to touch.
He's like probably the biggest.
I
feel
would
like-
say
yeah.
Han Solo is more popular than
Harrison
Luke.
Ford.
Yeah, because he might not be
He
more
was
popular.
such a big personality in all the
Yeah,
movies.
exactly. And that's the thing. I think
He had the most character development. in my
exactly
opinion.
because I think you can do Luke easier than you can do Han Solo. But Han Solo's personality is so unique and so defined with Harrison Ford.
He was also
Very
mysterious.
Yeah.
Like, no one really knew his backstory. Like, you knew Luke's backstory.
Yeah.
You kind of knew Leia's backstory by the end. You knew where
And
they came from.
and he just mentions his backstory, it was like just like a really
His
shout out
thing,
reference.
Yeah, his thing was the Kessel Run.
I don't
which
wanna-
this is what the movie's about.
Yeah, I don't want it to be a movie about this is how he gets his vest, this is how he gets his belt, this is how he gets his weird pants, this is how he gets his gun. I don't want to.
gun.
I don't want to know any of
I want a
that.
fun romp.
I just want it to be a story. I want them to still leave stuff out.
It's a Star Wars story.
I just want it to be fun.
Do you think it's gonna be as good as Rogue One?
That's really hard to top, because a lot of people... I loved Rogue One. A lot of
It was
people
mixed
didn't really
bag.
like it.
I liked it.
I don't know
I
why.
like it too.
Because the last 3 minutes of that movie are some of the best scenes in Star Wars.
I think the
ever.
whole movie it was just a very different. It was like a
It was awesome.
feet on the ground type of movie that
I
hadn't
was
been done before.
I was not expecting them.
I was shocked by what they did Vader, which was the coolest thing.
That fight scene was incredible.
Because a lot of people didn't realize, before this prequel is how like super powerful Vader was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then they kind of show it here.
This is something I'm not looking forward to. Is like me thinking about that scene, just kind of just like how evil he is, and then we're about to see him as a kid,
Yeah,
and he's like so
10-year-old.
cute. And
Yeah, terrible actor.
And it made that. But man, that was probably the best 3 minutes of Star Wars, in my opinion.
Probably pretty close. So next week we'll be back with Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Looking forward to it.
yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Yeah, you can reach us at Gmail, anothermanspod@gmail.com. You can reach us at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at anothermanspod. And you can watch us on YouTube every Tuesday. This episode goes up, but also every Thursday we put up a little visual clips of what we talked about. So we'll probably do something here. We'll probably do a lot of chests in this one.
Chess.
A lot of asses.
a lot of asses for Justin, so you can just watch our YouTube video over and over again.
We're gonna have like 300 views. just keep watching it
What do you think I'm looking at my
over
phone
and
right
over and
now?
over.
It's
and
not up
over
yet,
and over again.
Justin. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next week with that.
Peace.